All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm Wave Meteorologist. Welcome to Storm Talk for the weather block today. This will likely be the last Storm Talk for the week, and we'll be able to get into some positive news for a few days. Storm Talk will likely be back, though, for next week. And no sign yet of snow talk. Keep looking. It's going to be a while before it gets here, probably. Can't get here soon enough. Hope you guys are all right. I hope you enjoyed some of that loud thunder last night. Some of you didn't see any of it, I understand. But boy, it was certainly loud at my house. The crackle loud of the lightning and thunder there coming through. Some decent heavy rain totals. We'll go through that in a second and show you the radar loop. And then we'll get through finally this front today. Today is the day it finally moves in. It's going to take really until tonight to move in, but it's moving in. That's the good news. And still a good signal to get it south of I-40. So the idea that we're going to get a nice little break is still there, coming our way for the end of the week here before it does come back in for revenge for next week. More on that in just a second. As always, you guys can comment on our social media pages. Let's see. Hello, Lauren. Hello to Shonda. Hello to Sean. Hello to Brad as well. Hello, Angela. I was actually not too far away from your area not too long ago, Angela. I was by Plum Creek there, heading from Mount Washington to Shelbyville. All right, and Tracy's already asking about the time on the rain. I'll go through that. We'll show you the times here in just a second. Good morning to Tracy. Good morning to Jeremy. I hope all is well, Jeremy. Let's see who else we got. Cheryl, Renee, Mitchell. And a question about hail. When do they consider hail snow? That's a really good and complex question, Shonda. And it's mainly any ice is considered snow, and it only comes up when you have a very significant hail event at the sensor itself. So you get hail reported at the airport. Say if hail fell at Ollie International, it would go down as snowfall for the day because it is ice. I know it seems odd, and we don't hear about it a lot because it actually has to fall there at the sensor to get officially documented. There's only been maybe 3 times since I've been here, Wave, that I've ever seen that come up. That's about the only time we get anything registered snow is in the summertime, which makes a lot of sense, right? Go figure. All right, let's get you started on how this is going to play out. First off, here's Huber's Orchard and Winery. Not a bad setup there. Actually, got a little bit of sun trying to get through some of these clouds. And we're going to get some sun breaks today, but bet on more clouds than we will on sun for the area because we've had so much rain last night. And speaking of that, let me show you the radar loop starting last night all the way through this morning. The biggest challenge we had last night and yesterday afternoon was determining where the jet was going to set up because we had the anomaly event, 2 anomaly events with this pattern. We had the Chicago tornado event, the QLCS tornadoes, which we don't talk about very often, but very unusual to get that many. I think the Weather Service in Chicago has 29 locations they got to survey for tornado damage. 29. That's going to take weeks to get that resolved for them. And then we had the anomaly of St. Louis in Illinois. We were on here yesterday talking about that, how the flooding was incredible in that area and even a few tornado warnings. So that created a cloud canopy and a cool pocket that really kept Illinois and Indiana fairly quiet for the rest of the day into the evening. So then the question was, right on the edge of that is where we're going to get the low-level jet that would ramp up, producing showers and storms and some very intense rainfall rates. That's the reason why you probably noticed alert days were changing in time yesterday because that was the complex nature of this. We knew the environment was prime, absolutely prime for heavy rain development to take place. Placement and timing, though, were the 2 biggest challenges, and those are the biggest ones everyone wants to know, correct? So it did blow up as expected with the pattern. It was about, I would say, 60 miles south of what a lot of the data had there for a while. So Louisville, northern part of Louisville, anyway, got spared. I'm in the southern part of the county, and I got walloped with some very heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning there and wind for a while as well. So it definitely got right into the southern part of the metro. But you could tell right on the 11 o'clock hour midnight, most of your strongest storm activity is right along the parkways. Even had some rotation briefly show up and very strong straight line wind, which looked like a downburst type signature that developed there not too far away from Nelson County. So the wind fields got very strong there for a while. briefly, but it was mainly just heavy rainfall, and the rates were high across areas of the parkways. And then what happens when you get a lot of thunderstorms like that and your flow is relatively weak, you get the blow off from the tops of those thunderstorms, and that shielded everybody along the river in Indiana with a general steady but lighter rain. That's what happened. Now we've tapered that down and calming things down just a bit. Rainfall amounts. This is the colors are estimated from the radar. The amounts are actually shown. Louisville was only a little more than 3/10. I was over 1.5 inches. Looks like Shepherdsville is nearly 2 inches. Same story in E-Town. 3 inches were very common, though, along the parkways. Radar estimates, so closer to 5 to even 6. Had a few unconfirmed reports on that. Nothing confirmed yet on some of those higher end totals. But this area actually had the driest conditions, too, when it came to drought that was developing. So now that has happened, the drought map comes out tomorrow. This rain won't be factored in. The rain we had earlier this week won't be factored in. So the drought map probably will show things getting worse. But I can tell you right now, based on where the placement has been here lately with some of these rain downpours, the only area that I'm concerned right now that the drought would still be an issue is going to be right here, this section of Indiana, roughly Salem through Madison. That's the area to watch. The drought may worsen. Everywhere else, I think, is in fine shape there. But as always, we'll keep you updated on that once that report comes out. If you got a rain gauge and you had some heavy rain, type in the chat there how much you got at your house last night. Let's see. Actually, Mary did this. Hi, Mary. We had 2 inches in Springfield. Good. I'm glad you got that good soaking rain. Now we got to do a lot of mowing for the next several days. Barely anything in Trumbull. Yeah, Kathy, you were just a little too far north. You got that the blow off part, but that was not the heavy rain. Okay, let me go ahead and get to the outlook now. This is the current view. A lot of clouds. It's kind of a messy setup. These are spotty showers, so you're going to be driving around here through the late morning, midday, lunch hour. At times, you have to use your wipers. This is relatively light, although I will say there's still a lot of tropical moisture that's in the air right now. We just don't have a lot of fuel, which is good. Otherwise, this day would be a different setup here. We've got 70s, and I know you see that 28 in Jeffersonville. That's been a thorn in our side all week long. It's the sensor, actually, at the Clark County Airport. It's malfunctioned. It's out of our control, so it kind of messes up our maps on heat index and temperature, so I apologize. But I think you guys are smart enough to know that that's not a reality, right? If that was a reality, that would be the big story right now. But ignore the sensor. We're not trying to ignore you, Jeffersonville. It's just we can't use your sensor right now. All right. Anyway, generally in the lower 80s looks like today. Not a lot of heating, but you can see the fuel had just been wiped out with the rain last night and this morning with a lot of clouds. We're going to get fuel that will build up today, but instead of a general widespread area of higher cape or storm energy that will build up, it is going to be much more into pockets here and or there. And that is where we can get some heavier rainfall rates briefly. Things will be moving a little faster today than what they did last night. So that's good. But still pockets of heavy rain, maybe a gusty thunderstorm, but we won't have widespread energy for these storms to work with. Just a constant, annoying setup of spotty showers every once in a while developing. But we'll keep an eye on it. And if you got outdoor plans, you need to certainly have a way to get notified for lightning, as still as possible get some lightning strikes here today as they develop. Eventually, the front, though, will move in, and we'll end all this for tonight. You can see the moisture levels increasing again right along southern Indiana and central Kentucky. Rainfall rates right now are running at 2 inches plus per hour. But again, everything's moving a little faster today, and we don't have as much fuel to create a lot of thunderstorms. Thunderstorms allow that 2 inches to become a reality in downpours. Because we don't have that intense thunderstorm action, you nearly cut most of these rain setups at more than 50%, nearly 60, 70% you cut in their rainfall potential. So that's why rainfall amounts will not be excessive today, but it will be in pockets. Does that all make sense? I think it does. I'm rambling now, so let's move on. We got the setup here today, which is the front moving on by. Heavier rain to the west, once again into the Ozarks. That's not going to be a factor for us. The front is going to move through. By the time this tries to swing through Tennessee, the front will already be moving on by. So it looks like it's not going to rain in Indiana. I do think you will get some spotty showers, maybe a couple downpours will pop this afternoon in Indiana, and those will then push into Kentucky. That will be the actual front. But your rain chance for Indiana is mainly going to be with the front, which frontal passage, I'm thinking right now that's 9 o'clock is what I'm going to go with. is when the front will move in. So Kentucky will have scattered showers and storms throughout the entire afternoon and evening. Indiana, you will with the actual front. And then once that sweeps your backyard, northwest to southeast, you are in the clear for a while anyway, a few days. In fact, some really nice weather building up. No severe worries today. Again, a gusty thunderstorm possible with some of those pockets that get some fuel today if the sun comes out. But with so much clouds, I'm not worried about that end of the spectrum. So here's Futurecast showing showers and storms today. Some of those across southern areas of Kentucky, again, scattered across Kentucky. And then here we go, Indiana. That's the front at 4 o'clock. Moving on in, you see it passes Louisville at about the 9 o'clock hour. The front by 10:30 on this model here already is past Louisville. Now moving along the parkways, still some showers with that. And then finally, by the time we head into the overnight hours into your Thursday, we finally get it south of the parkways and then south of the Tennessee border. And then hopefully get it south of I-40 down here in Tennessee for at least 48 hours maybe before it does come back. But man, beautiful weather coming into play with this front getting through. This is the third or fourth time I think we've had this happen this summer season, which is unusual and interesting. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think we'll keep seeing this repeat itself over and over. And as far as the tropics go, I don't see much happening there until maybe after August 10th, August 11th, something like that. The tropics do start to wake up again. We get rid of some of that dust that's out there now. So that's when all the tropic talk will kick back in. And the headlines, and that's a while. So I think another 2-3 weeks maybe before we get back into that discussion. Next name on that list, of course, will be Debbie. But for us, we just keep getting these low pressures that are diving down, and we keep resetting our air. We get hot and humid, rounds of thunderstorms, and reset. This is great. It's a really good pattern, especially for agricultural interest here this summer, when it looked like it was going to be very intense heat and drought setup. We've changed up the pattern a bit here, and this is actually a really good setup where you get a mixture of all of that. That really allows for, hopefully, a really good harvest coming up this season. Okay, so after this, again, the humidity drops. There we go. Thursday will be beautiful. Some of you probably won't get out of the 70s for highs. I hope you're ready for it. Thursday night will be the coolest night. I think we're going to have several 50-degree temperatures Thursday night. Somebody's going to wear a parka. I know they will. We get into Friday. Beautiful, just a touch warmer on Friday, a couple degrees. We'll be in the 80s on Friday, but still lots of blue sky to enjoy. Very comfortable. I hope you got plans. Seriously, if you don't, make them. Go cookouts, hang out with friends, sit outside, enjoy that mosquitoes biting you up like crazy. Make plans. Enjoy this. This is really nice to have in July. It does start to change a bit more, and we get into, say, the weekend. We are going to gain a little more humidity and a little more warmth Sunday. May even hit 90 on Sunday, the way it's looking, because that front that went south of I-40 is going to come back, and it'll get some help because we've got a low that's going to drop in from the Rockies. It'll come into play, and it'll just sit here in the Midwest, and what its job is going to do is just keep scooping up moisture off the Gulf of Mexico. We have the Bermuda High to the east of that, so because its flow is clockwise, it is helping from the other direction on throwing moisture right into Kentucky. So it'll be a scattering of showers and thunderstorms that may last nearly every single day next week. It's not going to rain all the time, but we're going to have to deal with some tropical rainfall and may have to talk about flooding issues too. I'm not worried on severe right now, but I think it's going to be a flooding issue that we'll have to watch as we get down the road. All right, let me get to your 10-day and get to some of your last questions here before I have to say ciao. Let's see. Sorry, my mic is always far away. Let me bring it toward me a little bit. Oh, you're going to Disney next weekend. All right. Good, Ashley. Hopefully they're out of the stormy pattern by that point. Let's see. Austin, why is the lightning and thunder more intense and louder in the summertime? I don't know if it's really louder. There's several factors that depend on that sound. Moisture levels and what we call an inversion make a big difference on how sound bounces back to the ground level. If you have a lot of cloud-to-cloud lightning, sometimes you rarely even hear the thunder. And if you do, it's a rolling thunder and a bit delayed from the flash. Cloud-to-ground lightning, or CG, is rapid. It's more into the lowest layers of the atmosphere. I mean, it strikes the ground. So the air actually expands. The heat expands the air so fast that you get that crackling sound. And it's very, very loud. In tropical warm environments, you can get some very intense lightning strikes versus what you would have in the say the winter time. It takes a lot of lift to really a lot of rising air to get the charges to line up like they do. So it's more common in the summer than the winter. But there's other factors too that play into the sound. Rolling thunder is one of my favorites. The crackling thunder, not so much. I think that's terrifying. But a nice rolling thunder with a gentle rain, that's like every YouTube video right now everybody puts on when they go to bed at night. Come on, I know you do it. Somebody's doing it. You put that on, or a box fan sound, or a train going through Norway. I hope Tawana's watching this. This is what I do exactly. Okay. What was this here from Joe? Prep and food menu. Oh, good. Finishing touches on the menu today. All right. Have fun. Should be great this Saturday for the is it the Scotch pairing and tasting this Saturday. All right. There you go, Joe. All right, guys. I'm going to run. Everything looks good. I think we're in fine shape. You see the storming pattern next week. Let's try to ignore that for right now. We'll come back around to it once we get past these next couple of days. We'll be watching the radar trends. So throughout this afternoon and evening, if you're going to be out and about, keep checking the Wave Radar or our 24-hour streaming channel, and we'll keep you updated on any of those heavier downpours. And again, localized heavy rain possible. Have a good one, guys.